But Israel's defense minister says that Iran's security chief, Ali Larijani, is dead. Israeli media saying earlier that the military had been targeting him, adding that it was not immediately clear at that stage whether he was killed or injured. Now, Iran hasn't commented on that report, but state media has published in the last 15 minutes or so a handwritten note by the security chief. Not clear, of course, if that note was written a long time ago or recently. If his death is confirmed, though, he would be the most senior Iranian official to be killed after the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who died on the first day of the war. Well, let's go straight to Jerusalem. We're going to talk to our correspondent, Noga Tarnopolsky, who joins us from there. Noga, I know Israel Katz, the security minister, defense minister, has just been speaking. Tell us what he had to say.
Well, he did. He announced the killing of Ali Larijani in the context of Israel pursuing its aims of the war in Iran. Those aims have become murkier and murkier as the last 18 days now of war have continued. And with Israelis wondering more and more what the end point might be and whether regime change, which is what the Israeli government had really announced as its aim initially, was possible in any way, especially all the more so as we've heard doubts from the United States in recent days. Ali Larijani is an important symbolic figure and possibly important also in terms of the running of Iran. He has been considered the man de facto in charge of Iran, running Iran, certainly since the assassination of Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader, back on February 28th, but possibly even before then. He's an interesting figure, Larijani. He's known for his cruelty. He was behind several years of merciless response to public protest. He was the architect of the most recent response in which tens of thousands of Iranians were killed just in January. He's also a philosopher, known for, among other things, writing a book on Kant, a merciless, uncompromising figure, but very much in the saddle. Unlike, as far as we know, both Ali Khamenei, who was very old and ailing, and his son, Mujtaba Khamenei, who's been appointed to replace him, but who has not been seen, about whom many rumors are swirling about whether he's even functional or wounded or whatever. So Larijani is an important figure. I do want to add one more detail, a kind of internal Israeli detail. In recent days, more and more questions have been asked about where this war is going from the Israeli point of view. Yesterday, in an article, in an opinion column in the paper Haaretz, Yossi Verter, the political analyst, basically detailed Prime Minister Netanyahu's troubles in Israel, legal troubles, political troubles, even troubles explaining this Iran war to the Israeli people. And in one of the paragraphs, he says, nothing is working for Netanyahu. He's not gaining 1 milligram in any poll. He's not advancing. He seems unable to explain things. And he asked, this is just yesterday, he said, and who is left to assassinate? So there is a sense in Israel that assassination of these foreign leaders, certainly ones involved in repression or in Islamist Revolutionary Guard Corps terror events abroad, outside of Iran, that those are legitimate targets, as the Israeli military has said, and that is part of the unstated aim of this war.
The other point, isn't it, Noga, is that you mentioned there Larijani being very much in the saddle. The regime seems to have a very good way of, if somebody goes out of a saddle, just putting somebody else in his place.
That's right. It's not obvious with Larijani. I'm sure that there is a deep bench of deputies for him, but I don't know them. And in fact, they have not been much publicized even within Iran. I think we should mention that even Mujtaba Khamenei, the son of this very long time, almost 4-decade-long supreme leader, was not a figure particularly well known in Iran. The people who are coming up in the system of the Islamic Republic are kept hidden, among other things, because they're targeted. But I'm sure the IRCG is not a flimsy body, and it has shown itself to be extremely resilient. certainly since last June, when both Donald Trump and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced that basically the military abilities of Iran had been obliterated. I'm quoting now Donald Trump. And to quote Netanyahu, he told Israelis that Iran's military threat on Israel was gone, and I quote, for generations. We see just a few months later that that is not the case, that they are rehabilitated, very much in charge. There are no signs so far of any sort of collapse in the structure of the Iranian state. And I assume that if this killing of Larijani is confirmed by Iran in the next few hours, I assume that within 24 hours, there will be de facto somebody running the show, even if it's not formally announced.